Okay, I am now ready to start working on this beetle. This is my 67 Baja, and the things I need to do are drain the oil and take that carb off and fix the float because it's flooding. So this being the first time I've worked on this beetle, I'm not sure how everything is going to go. I can already see I'm going to have trouble reaching the drain hole with this in the way. Well, the first problem is there's not a drain plug. It's just cover. All right, this is what it says. Oil filter magnet, do not discard. I'm gonna have to look this up because I don't know if this is just attached, if it's screwed in, or if this is now attached somehow to this plate. I think I'm gonna take this thing off for now just so that I can get in and out easier. And yeah, this just turned into much more than I had planned. All right, let's go over this. When I first bought this, when he started it, when I picked it up, gasoline was pouring out of the driver's side of the engine, the left side. So the float on the carburetor got stuck. If it's pouring down into the carb, it's pouring into the head, it could be pouring into the engine, it could be getting into the oil. The dipstick. Right here, okay? I can clearly smell gasoline in the oil. So, I had intended to simply drain the oil, which is too bad because it's brand new oil because he just built this engine and he never ran it. But I was gonna drain the oil, take the carb off, fix the float, put the carb back on, fill it with oil, and then drive it around. Now, unfortunately, there's no drain plug that I can see on the oil pickup. So I'm thinking now I have to take the whole oil pan cover off, which is going to be a mess, which is going to leak. I can't get to it very easily, so I'm going to have to jack it up, which means I have to haul my 5,000 pound jack out. And this rear, bar set is already making it difficult to get to stuff, so I think I should take that off, and one of the bolts is way behind the tire. So now it's looked like I got to jack it up, take the tires off, take this off, take that oil filter pickup cover off, just to get to drain the oil. So that was a hell of a lot more than I had planned to do today. But that's, I guess, what I gotta do. So I'm gonna get started. drilled the hole after he put this on with a whole bunch of drills worth, you know. All right, according to the Internaughty, that is just a magnet that's popped over the oil nut, which is good news because I did not want to have to take the oil screen cover off. There we go. And there is oil leaking around that plug. I've got to get a new ratchet. So this Craftsman, this fine Craftsman, the switch between open and close has broken off. Yeah, that oil is barely used. Although it does have some dirt in it. Maybe it's just cleaning out what was in there. I'm sure this would be happier getting drained on the flat. For now it will have to do. Go. Nice and snug, not too tight. Okay, well the leak is because of a broken gasket, and these are not C gasket covers. So I'm just going to replace it with the standard cork. Glad to see there's not a lot of crud or anything in there. It looks like brand new heads barely used. One thing I saw on one of the build channels was you got to make sure that your mating surface is absolutely dry. They said if there's any oil on the mating surface, that just somehow creates a seepage point. So, try that. All right. Going to drain out the oil into my bucket, my can, take a break, and then start pulling off the carb. Looks like the first thing I need to do is take this linkage off. The carb kit is Weber from Impy, so I would expect it would have been metric, but maybe these little connectors here are imperial. Freedom units, in other words. Alright. So the fuel is connected behind the carb. Can't quite reach it from here, so obviously I guess I'll just have to take the carb off. And those look like 13 millimeter. There we go. This one looks like it's going to be really hard to get to. I got up with the nuts in my hand, trying to convince myself to put them somewhere I could find them again. And then I saw a squirrel. This hose clamp is a pinch clamp. In other words, not designed to be removed. So, I'm thinking maybe this carb is supposed to be serviced from the top with bolts that can be removed. Does that mean you're supposed to take the air cleaner off? Are those like the kind of air filters that you have to soak in oil? Because they're all oily. Alright. Let's see, to take this off, we need where did that come from? All right, carb is off. And I think I will likely go take this home. I'll open it up here and see if there's any gas still in it, because I don't want my house smelling like gas, but I will probably take this home to rebuild because it's hot. Doing the thing again. Putting stuff down without paying attention. There we go. So this is the float, and when the gasoline fills up the carb, this is supposed to float up and cut it off, but it wasn't. It may be that it's not properly adjusted, but I can't quite see it clearly here. All right, well anyways, I've got that. I put these screws back in the carb lower, and I'm gonna go home, figure this out. Also, looks to me like there's supposed to be 3 or 4 screws for the carb, and I only see 3, and I only took 3 out. So it's possible that what was actually happening is this was leaking because there were not enough screws in it. I think that the reason this was leaking was that it was leaking through the gasket where it joins the carburetor cover to the bottom. And the reason I think that is, with carbs with a float, when you hold it upright and the float is dangling, you can blow through it like that. But if you turn it upside down, just the weight of the float on that float valve pin, you can't blow through it. So to me, this float is actually working. So I've ordered some screws because you're supposed to have 4 and I only had 3, and that's going to take a few days. So I'm going to go ahead and put this video up now for this week, and then next week I'll finish putting the carb back together. Okay? So I'll see you back then next week.